Students must pick their electives for next year. In order to do that, you log into your Student Infinite Campus account. On the left-hand side, click on Academic Plan. On the first page, they're just trying to get an idea of what you think your plans might be once you graduate from high school. Do you think you'll stay in state or will you move out of state? So choose an option, and then what are your plans? To continue your education, going to college, employed and going to continue your education, just employed, in the military, or maybe you plan on being unemployed. So just go ahead and choose the option that you think. Again, this isn't written in stone. This is just getting an idea of what you think. Then click on Next. On this page, you are going to choose your classes that you're going to take next year as a 7th grader. And it's very important that you double check and make sure that you have followed all the directions before you click on the Save button at the top. So this is an example of a 6th grader. In this first column over here, it shows us basically what the student is taking this year. Now we're going to come here to the 7th grade column. We left click in this empty box, and we are going to choose the 7th grade English classes. So we choose English 7. That was for the first semester. Then we left click again, and now we choose the English 7 again. Notice the top boxes, they end with a 1, and the bottom section ends with a 2. That tells us first semester and second semester. That's English and reading for each semester. Then we come to 8th grade, and we are going to choose the 8th grade for semester 1, which is the 1, and then we're going to choose it for semester 2. So once you've seen that this is selected correctly, 7th grade for all of the 7th grade column and 8th grade, then you move on to math. So in math, again, left click in this cell. We're choosing the math 7 that ends in a 1 for first semester. Left click again, and now choose the math 7 with the 2 at the end for second semester. Then we come to 8th grade and we do the same thing. Notice on the math there's only 2 cells, but up here in English there were 4. That can be a little confusing, but the reason that there's double for English is because it's English and reading is 1 semester, and then the second semester of English and reading again. So that's why you see 4 up here and only 2 in this section. So now let's move down to science. Now science is a little different. When we left click and we choose the 7th grade, you'll notice it brought in both semester 1 and semester 2. So because we see a 1 at the end and we see a 2 at the end. So if we left click here again, our only option is 8th grade, and we're not going to put that there. So then we come over to the 8th grade column and we choose the science 8th grade. You notice if you click here again, there's no other options, so we know that we're finished. Then for social studies, the 6th grade should be blank because you did not take social studies in 6th grade. 7th grade, you'll choose the history and geography with the 7 at the end. Notice it brought in both semester 1 and 2. Then we're going to come to 8th grade and we're going to choose the option for 8th grade. And it also brought in semester 1 and 2. PE. PE as a 7th grader is an elective. So if you do not want to take PE as your elective for a 7th grader, you are going to leave this empty. 8th grade, you are required to take PE again, a half a year. So you're going to come down here and you're going to choose the PE 8-1. Notice that there are 2 that end in 1. So if we look back a few numbers, this one here is 60001 and this one's 90001. This is very important. If you are a female student, you will choose the 6001, and if you are a male, you will choose the 9001. So I'm going to choose the 6. Now, if you are wanting to take PE as an elective for 7th grade, you would need to put in here in the 7th grade. So this one's a little different. Female is the one that is in the 5001, and male is the 9001. So for female, we're going to choose the 5001 for first semester, left click again, and choose the 5002 for second semester. So again, if you're not interested in taking PE as your elective as a 7th grader, you would leave this blank. So I'm actually going to just click these little X's and leave that blank because I don't want to choose PE as a 7th grade elective. Then for computers, you will leave these 2 blank because 7th and 8th graders do not take computers. You already took it as a 6th grader. Then we come down to health. It's empty for 6th grade. You do not take health in 7th grade, so this will also stay blank. And then 8th grade is where you're going to choose just the one 8th grade health. Now for your electives. This part's very important. Before you fill this part out, you need to make sure that you click on the options to look at for 7th grade elective choices or 8th grade if you're an 8th grader. You'll notice you have the fine arts of the band, guitar, and orchestra. There's both beginning, intermediate, and advanced. Obviously, if you haven't taken beginning orchestra, you would not sign up for intermediate or advanced. They do go in order. Then there are other electives to choose from. Explorations art, Spanish, leadership class, and then there's also STEM for both beginning and intermediate. So again, if you haven't taken beginning STEM, you would not sign up for intermediate STEM. Notice next to art, Spanish, and leadership, you see a number. You'll know what that means in just a few minutes when we go back and look at our Infinite Campus selection. But if you're choosing one of these three options, you're going to need to know that number. So let's come back to Infinite Campus. If you're currently a 6th grader, you will see that the 6th grade section is already filled in, letting you know what classes that you took this year as a 6th grader. Everyone is seeing the options of the fundamentals of math because that was the second half of our math for this school year. So this student's elective was STEM beginning. So it's likely that they probably want to take STEM intermediate. So they would come down here and they would select STEM intermediate off of this list. So, oops, it's right at the top. So they were going to choose it for semester 1, ends in the 1, then they're going to choose the semester 2 one. So that is their one elective that they have chosen. Then they would go on and they would choose their elective for 8th grade. Now 8th grade's a few years away for this 6th grader, so you're probably going to change maybe what you take. But right now we're just trying to get an idea of what this student might want to take. Perhaps this student does want to take the beginning drama now. So they would choose beginning drama for 1, then they would come in and they would choose it for 2nd semester. Let's come back here to 7th grade and look at this STEM. Let's just see that this student decided they didn't want to take intermediate STEM. Let's come back to look at this 7th grade elective list, and let's say they wanted to actually sign up for the leadership class. This is the one that has the number next to it. So 86750001. So we need to come back here to this list, and we need to come to the very bottom where all the explorations classes are and find the one that's 86750001. Choose it for 1st semester, and now come back down again and choose it for 2nd semester. Double check to make sure that these numbers match and that you have the one for 1st semester and 2nd semester. So once you have double checked and made sure everything is correct, you will then click the Save button at the top. I'm not going to do it for this video, but if you were the student and you were ready to make these choices, you would click Save. If you have any questions at any time, please reach out to your school counselor.